So I wanted to make this filler video to be kind of a high-level summary of the first 5 days that we don't have much footage of. I decided not to take footage of that, mainly because of just how crazy it was. We had a lot of things break within the first I would say 30 miles. Our steering wheel and steerage went out. Our steering chain dropped because of a bobby pin that was holding a U-link together. So we were forced to run autopilot. That was kind of a blessing in disguise, though, because it was really brutal weather. So running the autopilot allowed us to just kind of relax a little bit. At that same time, Spencer and I were pretty seasick. After about the first 5 hours into the trip, we were seasick for about 5 to 8 hours total until we acclimated. It was pretty brutal because neither of us had really eaten anything, yet we were really seasick, so we were just kind of regurgitating stomach acid and water and gross stuff like that. But we did acclimate pretty quick. A day later, we got our sea legs as well. It's kind of when you feel your stabilizers kick in, and even though the boat's wobbly, everything kind of becomes easy to get around. Other highlights of things that broke: the Vang broke on day 2. The head, which is the bathroom, a brass nut in there came loose and kind of mucked up the toilet on day 3. We were having problems charging the engine. It was high revving, so we thought it was some kind of alternator issue. It may still be an alternator issue. There may also be a leaky injector, so it was kind of leaking. The engine has been leaking diesel the whole trip. Not enough to be significant, but every time we run the engine, it is smelly and gross. The fuel pump is arguably broken, is working intermittently. When we run the engine, we have to have someone on call who every 5 minutes can go down and physically pump the bulb to push fuel into the engine. But aside from that, we haven't really had much else break. Most of this stuff we found out broke within the first 5 days. The first 5 days are really the most brutal too, because the boat is constantly banging against the waves. You're on a reach, so you're working across. You're moving, northwest as fast as possible, which is just really bumpy. But it's notorious coming from the West Coast out into the Pacific to just be really brutal. Yeah, the kind of high-level overview for you there. Hopefully the boat will be getting a new engine within the next 6 to 8 months before any major races happen. That can be a pretty big deal, because if you can't run your engine to charge your batteries, you're screwed, because your electronics won't work. You won't have any guidance at night. Excuse me. And it's really important. So the engine's 50 years old, and when we calculated the hours it's been used, and if you translated that to miles on a car, it would be something like 400,000 miles. It's a 4-cylinder, 50 horsepower diesel engine that is just really on its last legs. So hopefully he'll get rid of that, get a new engine, a lighter engine, a quieter engine, a better, more reliable engine. So that's all that's going on.